Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good morning to Madam Zuki Diana. So for today our group will be presenting on the identification organization strategy in Samsung Group, and these are my group members. Okay, next. And I will start the presentation with the introduction. Okay, strategic communication planning, or SCP, is very crucial for every organization. The reason why SCP is very important in an organization is because it acts as a tool to integrate all the organization program, and it also could help an organization achieve their specific outcome. So basically, by having SCP, the work progress in an organization can be run smoothly. And to have a better understanding what is SCP is, SCP is about getting the right message to the right person at the right time through the right channel. Okay, next I will share with you a little bit information about the background of the organization. Okay, Samsung is a South Korea-based conglomerate company which headquartered in Samsung Town, Seoul. Conglomerate means a combination company, and it was founded by Lee Byung-chul in 1938 as a trading company. In the late of 1960s, Samsung entered the electronics industry. And then in 1987, Samsung was separated into 4 business groups, which are Samsung Group, Shin CJ Group, CJ Group, and Hasnell Group. Okay, next, Samsung has a powerful influence on South Korea's economic development, politics, and media. The reason why they have a powerful influence because, as we all know, Samsung is a very big company in that country. And in 1993, Samsung began to focus on 3 industries, which are electronics, engineering, and chemicals. And Samsung has been granted more US patents or copyright license than other well-known companies such as Google and many more.
Okay, Assalamualaikum. My name is Syarifah Munirah binti Syed Mustafa, and I will proceed with the organizational changes factors. So, in this complex and competitive world, non-organizations are excluded from having to prepare themselves to implement changes for the development of the organization. So, first of all, the external factors that can influence, the outside influence that can give impact to the organization, which includes technology. So, throughout the years, technologies keep on advancing to satisfy the users' needs, and more people are starting to choose iOS from Apple instead of Android from Samsung because they think that iOS performs better than Android. Therefore, to cope with this technology's advancement, Samsung CEO decided to step down and give way to the succeeding executive to help Samsung to arise with admirable innovation that suits its vision of inspire the world, create the future. Next, marketing strategy and social change are closely related to each other. So before this, Samsung used marketing strategy that is called price skimming. For example, when they launch a new Samsung Galaxy S10 at about 4,000 ringgit, other competitors might try, other brands might try to launch a new phones that have the same features as Samsung's latest one. So what Samsung do is they just lower the price because they know that people usually are more attracted to things that are discounted and less pricey. However, as the world changed, marketing strategy should also change too. People do not look at price anymore. They just buy anything that they want to buy. So, more organizations are looking beyond and focuses to give what the audience want to see. They provide videos and pictures that are interesting and catchy headlines that even we as the audience will want to see. So, due to this cheap marketing strategy, Samsung was also affected with their unprecedented crisis and also their phone that has exploded. So it has tarnished the image and reputation of the Samsung. So Samsung CEO decided to resign to satisfy the customers' needs, with hope that Samsung can do better and focus to recall efforts to solve this unprecedented crisis. Besides, internal factors that influence the strength and weakness of an organization includes nature of a workplace. So usually in Korea, they implement seniority-oriented system that might not be fitting Samsung's identity as a top global information technology company. Therefore, they change these internal factors to help their employees, to provide their employees to learn and give benefit to the organization. Last but not least is the change of top management. So throughout the years, for more years, the structure of the management in Samsung has never changed, neither improved or altered, which is actually the issue here. Because as we all know, changes are needed because to improve and also to develop and for their survival in this business. So only after having to face an unprecedented crisis and also with the rumors, so Samsung CEO finally decided to make a big decision to step down and let the new lineup to start fresh and help to gain back the trust and honesty elements that every organization should have. So to conclude, changes are not always something that is bad. So even if it is for small company or big company, they need to implement changes whenever it is needed. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Janatulnaimah. So I'm going to proceed with organizational changes part. So basically, organization make changes due in order to develop. However, Samsung made changes due to the fact that they have crisis in 2007, which it is called unprecedented crisis. So, those changes are effective? We as a team believe that they are effective based on the two reasons. First, it is want to gain trust from its constituency. Second, it is to sustain the name of a Samsung as the world brand. So let's proceed with the first reason. Strategic communication planning also involved in crisis. So during crisis, organization has to look back, has to consider the vision and mission in decision making. However, since this crisis is a serious crisis, so they also have to consider, they also have to look back at the Samsung philosophy. Samsung would like to highlight Samsung also wants to be a vehicle or organization that building trust among the stakeholders. So strategic communication planning starts from the above. The leader plays the main role to communicate strategically, and the changes that Samsung made in 2007, which they cut off and the CEO of the Samsung resigned, is important and it is effective because the stakeholders, either internal stakeholders or external, will see these changes as an image for Samsung to maintain as an organization that follow ethical and legislation in their organization. So for the second reason, it is to sustain Samsung as the world brand name. As we all know, Samsung is already a world brand name among among the companies in the field. So in order to do that, they have to look back at their strategic plan. In their strategic plan, it is highlighted with an aim to become one of the most ethical companies in the world. So it is important to cut off everyone that involved in the corruption, in the unprecedented crisis, and by bringing the new faces, it will create new environment, new idea, and of course new value in Samsung. So this is very effective to Samsung because this three top management will change the whole situation, will change the whole environment of Samsung after the image of Samsung being tarnished due to the unprecedented crisis. So we believe that it is effective to change to decide, Samsung decide to make some changes in their organization after the unprecedented crisis happened. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, Assalamualaikum. My name is NurLyana Aqilah. So I will explain about recommendation. Organizational change is a normal occurrence that not only being faced by Samsung but also other organizations. Despite of the change, the organization, specifically the leaders, should have the most strategy and tactical plans to communicate the change to the stakeholder so that they can achieve their understanding and cooperation from the stakeholder. So we have come out with several recommendations that we think will be the best one that should be implemented by the organization. So the first and most important element that we think all the organization should have is effective communication. All the stakeholders should be clear with the objective of the change. So we can relate it with what has been done by the Samsung, in which they have implemented communication plan where it consists of 4 phases. So the first phase is called as pre-approval, where the top management is engaged and committed to the change process. Then they will proceed with the second phase, which they develop the need for the change, in which they communicate the change as well as they tell the steps that should be taken by all the stakeholders. And the third is they proceed to the midstream management phase, where they analyze the data collected from the feedback taken from the stakeholders before they move to the final phase, which they try their best to achieve the objective of the change. So what we can say is Samsung has a systematic communication plan where they have specific persons who expertise in conducting this process. So the second recommendation is the organization should identify the change agent attributes. So this agent should be the one who have credibility, trustworthiness, sincerity, as well as expert in doing this. This is not an easy task, as this person should be the pushing force who motivates and inspires other stakeholders to follow their lead. With this influential attitude, this agent can convince and persuade the stakeholders, especially to those who still paranoid and skeptical with the change. And the third recommendation is, besides having face-to-face communication, online forum can also be the best medium to communicate the change. It may sound outdated, yet it allows the employees to talk directly to the stakeholders, as it enables them to ask the questions and get the response instantly. Not only to the employee, the customer can also share their thought on the change via this medium. Okay, for the rationale of the change, due to the crisis, we think that it is a must for Samsung to do the change, as this crisis totally has a major impact to their culture as well as their operation of the organization. So they need to change in order to regain the trust they have lost due to the crisis. However, some still choose not to change their vision and mission, just like what Naimah has explained just now, as they believe that they want to retain what their ancestor wants to accomplish, as this is the family-owned organization. To conclude, we can say that despite of all the crises and scandals faced by the organization, the leaders have considered all the rationalities of the change, as they have planned well to implement the change and communicate it to their stakeholders. So this is the good example that should be followed by all the organization. So I think that's all from us. Thank you.